The largest selling game or the best selling game on PlayStation is Call of Duty. Call of Duty is now owned by Microsoft. How huge is that? Welcome, everybody, to the XoneBros. We are discussing this monumental news day over on Microsoft, over in the gaming space. Microsoft has purchased Activision Blizzard. We thought Bethesda was big. For what, $68 billion? We thought Bethesda was big.
And it is very important to say it properly. It's $68 billion cash.
Cash. Yes, there are many headlines out there.
That's what impresses me.
That said cash. So let's go through it. Again, I don't think it could be underscored. This is PlayStation's most popular game in 2021. Call of Duty. Instant reactions here. Let's start with Jordan. Jordan, thoughts? What does this mean for Xbox going forward? How mind-blowing is this?
Well, it definitely tells me that Microsoft is all in on gaming, because not only is this one of the biggest gaming acquisitions for Microsoft, this is Microsoft's biggest acquisition. The next closest is LinkedIn at $28 billion.
Yeah.
I think LinkedIn was $26 billion. So this shatters that.
Yeah.
This is the biggest acquisition they've ever done. It seems like they've also restructured Xbox a little bit by Phil Spencer got a new promotion. Honestly, I think I'm still in shock. I don't know what's going to happen. I have theories floating around everywhere. I got rumors floating around everywhere. This is huge. What is exciting, and what we do probably 100% know, all of these games are coming to Game Pass day one.
Ooh.
At the very minimum.
When we say huge. Game Pass, we mean Xbox Game Pass or Game Pass for PC,
yeah.
Which I think
we're talking
the
new Call of Duties, the new Diablos, Overwatch. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I laughed. I'm actually really sorry I laughed at Overwatch.
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone is a big one.
I love that game. Free to play anyways, but...
Yeah, I'm sorry I laughed at that.
Spicy. Activision Blizzard, what's your instant reaction? What's your thoughts here as it happens?
We have been joking every time Microsoft buys someone bigger, and we're like, well, who's left? Who's left? Who's left? I think we were talking about what is the value that Nintendo is at right now? It's hard to tell.
I was looking at it, and we were actually talking about it in our Discord earlier too. I think it's hard to pinpoint a value, but I think we've narrowed it down from 60 to 90 billion.
So they're right in the ballpark.
So
here.
This is up there. I mean, it's right there in the ballpark, right, David? What if Microsoft just goes, yeah, let's buy Nintendo?
I mean, in all seriousness, nothing is out the window right now.
Well,
nothing is off the table.
After this, after this, I don't know what they can't do.
Yeah.
That's what we said with Bethesda. Remember when Bethesda was purchased, we were like, well, that's $8 billion. That's a lot of dough. You know, who's left at this point? Well, we have Square Enix.
Yeah.
And we've joked about Square Enix before on the show, saying the rumor is that they're going after a Japanese developer.
Yeah.
What if it was Square Enix? Oh man. But that was tongue in cheek. Yeah. After this Activision Blizzard, everything is on the table.
I don't know what they can't do. And the fact that they're paying this, according to the websites, in cash.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
I mean,
I was actually thinking, I know on Discord, I think it was Reckham posted what it looks like to have $1 billion $1 bills.
It was $1 billion $100. It was $1 billion in $100.
Oh, 100.
Yeah.
What does that?
And it was
pallets.
Pallets and pallets. I don't know. There was 16 pallets or something like that. I can't remember.
Times 68.
That's $1 billion.
Times 68.
Yeah, they're sending 68 of those.
Do you know how funny it would be to do that, to have that be the delivery? That's like buying a restaurant meal with quarters.
I just do it normally, like in UPS
like
truck.
in that Seinfeld episode.
No, you'd see one of those trucks with the oversized load flag and the car behind it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's a pretty crazy deal. That's a big deal. And what's interesting, we talk about Call of Duty, but they got King out of this. They got Candy Crush, essentially, which is one of the biggest mobile printing machines. I guess you could printing game.
Money printers.
Money printers. My wife plays that quite a bit, and that's bigger than I think people think. I mean, I know that on our side of things, we're all about the hardware. We're all about PC consoles,
real
stuff.
games and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's our perspective.
I was just teasing.
No, but it's true. Like I won't be playing Candy Crush, but I think there was some numbers. I don't know how outdated this is. This was probably a couple of years ago, but there was upwards of like 100 million users on Candy Crush.
Yeah, it's a cat.
Oh, yeah,
Those mobile games are
Well,
cash printing machines.
And a lot of people don't know this, but isn't the mobile market bigger than the console and
'cause it's on
PC
everyone
market?
has a
Like
phone.
it's insane the amount of money the mobile market brings in, which is why you see all these developers going after mobile studios.
Well, why you see Blizzard trying to put Diablo on a mobile phone? That's because of Candy Crush.
See that I didn't even think about that. So that game's Diablo Immortal, to my knowledge, is not out yet. I wonder if Microsoft comes out and says, "Okay, Game Pass it."
Game Pass it, baby.
Bring it over to the PC.
it's really,
which is what people were asking for at the BlizzCon when it was first announced.
So does this mean? I mean, I think of all the games that I love and grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
I think of StarCraft. I think of Warcraft. I think of all these, even Call of Duty. But I think of the Blizzard games especially. I love Hearthstone. I've played Hearthstone for years since the beta.
And that's kind of another game where it just really prints money.
Yeah.
Because
at its peak, I looked up the numbers today. At its peak, this was 2 years ago, so I don't know. This was 2019, I believe. Numbers. I don't know where it's at today, but 41 million a month.
Yeah.
Hearthstone.
Well, the thing I'm not gonna say like
Gosh.
it's
Well, what's funny about Hearthstone is, I mean, I don't know how it's made. I'm not a game developer, right? But of all the games that I see being developed, Hearthstone seems like the easiest one to maintain and the easiest one to create.
And
Like,
bring on to console, which is not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which, I've wanted it on console for a long time. I mean, I have it on my phone. Why can't I? Why?
iPad.
See, don't give me, because people are gonna say, well, the controls aren't there. No. The controls are there.
No.
We have seen in the past years, and I use Final Fantasy 14 as an example all the time. If you put in the time and effort and love, you can make a controller game work.
Yeah. Well, see, that's if you put in the time. With Hearthstone, all you need is the Destiny icon that moves around.
That's if you put in the time.
Yeah,
you don't even need to do that.
Yeah. Seriously, give Frank in development a week, and he can put in the icon that you move around with the joystick.
And you can even keep it as the
on
little
the phone. We just tap.
Yeah,
it's a click. I don't know why it's not on my Xbox right now.
So let's talk about this deal from a strategic standpoint, because I think Xbox just ended this generation. I'll be perfectly honest. This is not meant to be a flamboyant statement. I think it's over. Here's why.
Yeah.
Xbox is taking the Netflix model, and there's no Hulu that exists. There's no Disney Plus that exists. There's no Amazon Prime. They are buying out all of these options to bring them into Game Pass, even irregardless of whether they become exclusive or not. Something will be exclusive about these games on Game Pass. The benefit, they're going to use this as marketing, as a benefit to be on Game Pass for PC or Game Pass for Xbox. And there's no other competition right now. Imagine if Netflix bought out. Let's rewind it. Let's say Disney came out. They just Disney'd Game Pass. They bought Star Wars, Marvel, Fox. That's like every movie ever made.
At least 90% of them
now exists.
It's a big chunk.
In the future, will be on Disney Plus. That's what Xbox just did. However, in the game subscription space, there is no competitor.
Yeah.
Ubisoft Pass. I'm sorry, that's not a competitor.
not
EA Play. In fact, one of those is probably going to get grabbed up by either Microsoft or PlayStation.
Well, and
what's going to be interesting is how does PlayStation respond? If you're a PlayStation executive, what was your day like today?
Not a good day.
You're thinking, holy shat, the giant is awake.
We've awoken the sleeping giant.
We've awoken the sleeping giant.
I think they're leaning forward, like I explained on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
Here we go.
They're like, I'll explain it again. When you're gaming, you're relaxed, you're leaning back, you're having a good time. But then when you want to win, you lean forward in your seat.
I don't know.
You've got to start making moves, because honestly,
maybe they're complaining about latency like I usually do.
And I mean, Sony has been making some silent moves.
we know a subscription service is coming there.
Yeah, which, by the way, after acquiring Activision, that subscription's like that's a huge chunk of games that aren't there.
That's exactly my point.
So,
You just took all those third-party titles off of the option for
Now,
and I don't think it's the end. I do not think this is the end. I think we're going to see another few of these. I think Microsoft sees an opportunity. They see how much money you can be made in gaming, and they see that they have the first mover advantage. Let's grab as much as we can and bring it in-house and set up the future to win.
Yeah. No, it's it's all revolved around Game Pass.
Oh,
that's
that's
exactly
the point. That's the
thing.
right? Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a lot of discussions going on right now on the internet from a lot of, people that play games as to whether or not Microsoft is going to go exclusive with a lot of these titles or not. I think the goal here, from my perspective, is Microsoft wants 200 million people paying them $20 a month.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the goal here, and that is a lot of cash, and that's how a lot of that money is going to be recouped. Let alone the data that shows and proves that people that are on Game Pass pay more money, even though they technically think they're getting the games for free. A lot of the data they have show that they pay more money on the game itself and pay more money into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Which is you got 200 million people paying that much money a month, and then on top of that, you're still getting a lot of the traditional methods of getting the games previously. I mean, a lot we learned from, was it Phil Spencer? I don't know how long ago. Days. We learned that he gave numbers, I believe, that a lot of the money that they're making is from still disc games.
Yeah, transaction is still like their number one source.
Which,
and not even discs, but I think single game purchases.
Single game purchases. That's what I meant. So, I mean, they're gonna recoup this.
Yeah.
I mean, Game Pass is just getting ballsier and ballsier and just stronger and stronger.
Well, and that's sorry, were you?
And you want to bring up the discussion where a lot of the people are in disbelief, like, no, it's not going to go. Call of Duty's never going to go exclusive.
It's the exact same conversation we had a year ago. I mean, it's weird to think about. Even I was like, well, would they do that? That's kind of but
do you
it's
spend
the same...
$70 billion and share that with other people?
No, I don't. I think this is the same conversation we had last year with Bethesda, and that seemed to come true.
So Jeff Grubb tweeted out, I talked about it earlier today, his speculation is that Warzone stays multi-platform.
I agree with
Call
that.
of Duty becomes exclusive.
I agree with that.
Sure.
The reason being is because Phil Spencer has come out and said, more so with the Bethesda acquisition, that they're not going to break up communities that already exist.
Sure.
Warzone has a community across all these platforms, and Warzone is doing what Microsoft wants to do. It's all cross-play. It's all cross-progress. You know what I mean? It's all it's all one system. It's play wherever you want.
So,
but I think anything going forward, once the deal is completed, which will be at the end of this year, beginning of next year, anything going forward from that point, just like Bethesda with Starfield, I think will be Game Pass exclusive.
So this is the thing, though. Okay, Warzone is going to last 4 more years. 5 more years, then they're going to have the demilitarized zone, or the next iteration, and that's the one I'm talking about. That's the one that when the next generation of hardware, the next generation of consoles, when this version of this game is done, considered, I guess, end of its cycle, the next Call of Duty open, battle royale is going to be exclusive. That's my prediction. People are going to be like, no way. But there's no reason. I mean, obviously they're going to keep this one for the next 4 or 5 years until the next.
Really? That's really interesting. See, I think Warzone is it's like Fortnite. I don't think it's going to change.
Okay, so it's more like in a sense Minecraft, where they put it on and it still makes them billions of dollars.
Makes them a ton of money, and it's an advertisement for Game Pass because you'll give benefits to Game Pass users. For instance,
pay on PlayStation, get it for free on Xbox.
Something like that, or like they have a battle pass. Maybe there'll be perks to the battle pass, or we've lived through the days of perks coming to PlayStation with Call of Duty. That's no longer going to be the case. But the single player mega blockbuster campaign that is Call of Duty, that going forward will definitely, the multiplayer aspect I think will remain cross-platform.
I get that. But think in 5 years when Warzone is done. Think how hard you can cut the competition from the legs. Just sweep them right out by taking away their most money making, game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's. It could happen. I'm just saying it could be a move, and you can play it on PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
regardless,
just-
it puts Microsoft in the driver's seat
Yeah.
in all of these conversations. And it's who would have thought? I mean, this is huge. Let's because I think we're going to come to find out, and I think that's the logical way. I mean, current, like Jordan said, current multi-platform things are going to stay multi-platform.
Yeah,
That's not
even
gonna
I would
change.
go obviously all the way through this year. Anything that comes out from Activision, I think is going to be because the deal technically doesn't close till physical 2023 or
between
something like
2022
that?
and 2023. Let's take a look at what it adds to the game library, though, on Game Pass. Ready for this? Let's take a look at the MMO space. Microsoft now owns ESO.
Yeah.
And World of Warcraft.
And look,
the only one they don't own is Final Fantasy. And if they were to buy Square Enix, guess what they would own?
Oh my gosh!
Well, rumor on the street is that Sony locked up Final Fantasy games for the next little while.
Yeah.
So that's a hit, because I like those games.
It's a hit. I guess you just have number 1 and 3. You don't have number 2. But think about that. Just look at MMOs. Then let's look at real-time strategy games, RTSs. You now have Age of Empires.
Yeah. StarCraft, Warcraft.
You have StarCraft.
See, and that's what I was getting at before.
Baby.
We get StarCraft every 20 years. That's really kind of how it feels. We get a StarCraft every 20 years. I think that cycle is going to be increasing a little bit. We're going to probably get StarCraft 3 sooner than we would have gotten otherwise.
I was just telling Mark, what if they put Blizzard on the next Halo Wars?
That's that's cool.
Yeah.
But
StarCraft is
but
StarCraft.
StarCraft is StarCraft.
Here's what I think they're going to do with StarCraft, and the reason it was on the front page of all
Old
the
Jim Raynor.
marketing, all the marketing
he's
today is
cool.
because I think Microsoft looks like they're trying to expand as well into the esports thing. We know that StarCraft by Blizzard is no longer supported. I think Microsoft revives that and goes hard into that portion of esports. They're doing it with Halo. I think they're going to do it here with StarCraft. StarCraft's, from an esports perspective, is absolutely giant. When you talk about wanting to get into the Asian market as well, StarCraft esports, Overwatch
Well,
esports.
you're definitely
for that
in
matter.
the Korean market. That's for sure. No,
It just gives you so many options. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah. Well,
Let's look at first-person shooters. Microsoft now has Halo, Doom, and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like what else is there?
The big three, and
Well,
two of the three, and I believe sooner rather than later, all three of them are going to be Game Pass. I was thinking about this before the show, and this gets into my crazy conspiracy predictions and stuff. I think because let's talk about this first. There is some things floating around that this deal won't go through because of government regulations. I completely disagree with that. Even with Microsoft acquiring Activision, they are still in third place behind Tencent and Sony in money made revenue, right? And there's still competition. It doesn't break any monopoly laws. You know what I mean?
So I'm very ignorant when it comes to monopoly laws. Doesn't it have to be a crucial industry? This is gaming and entertainment. I get the phones, and I get how many times is AT&T been split?
Microsoft with Windows and the computers?
Correct.
Yeah.
DirectX and all
I
that,
think that's why those laws are in place. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's meant for entertainment industries.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big. I don't think that's a big issue or concern. I think
don't
people
think it's a
floating
concern
those
either.
are a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to go through just fine.
Yeah.
But that being said, because
you don't announce it if you don't think if it's not final. It's final.
They just got to move some money around.
Do they?
I don't know. It's already
I
on.
They just went to the.
They went to the ATM. What ATMs are they using?
The Scrooge McDuck vault, and the one Phil Spencer swims in.
No, what I
with all that gold.
This is just because I think this deal's going to go through. I think sooner rather than later we're going to start seeing a lot of these games. Because remember when they bought Bethesda, we saw a couple trickle in, and then once the deal was final, we got a whole load of them.
Yeah,
I'm calling this now. People can say I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think this year's Call of Duty is launching on Game Pass. It won't be exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Won't be exclusive. It'll
yeah,
still be
I
on
agree.
PlayStation and stuff. I think it launches on Game Pass.
Agreed.
Because
No
by
question.
that point, you're close enough. PlayStation can still have all its first map packs, their deals that you can still honor those deals and have it on Game Pass. And this year's big because I believe this year's Call of Duty is going to be the Modern Warfare 2, which so that's what I think. I think we're sooner rather than later we're going to see a lot of games start to trickle into Game Pass, and then of course once the deal finalizes, just like Bethesda, we're going to see a big influx.
Let's talk about World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft
Talk to me.
has been under hard times, quote unquote. And under hard times, it still has a million of subscribers and players playing the game. We've wanted it to come to console for a while now, Jordan. We've talked about that. Final Fantasy's on console,
nice.
ESO's on console. Does this mean it's coming to console?
I don't know. It's wishful thinking. I would like it to come to console. I want everything to come to console, because it's just nice. So,
I don't know because Microsoft. Their other console is the PC.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth their investment. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll see what they do. I wouldn't hold my breath for it to happen. What I am excited about, and we chatted about this earlier, World of Warcraft sliding over to Game Pass.
Yeah,
World of Warcraft is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Now, again, we don't know what's going to happen, but this is just what I'm thinking. World of Warcraft slides over to Game Pass, and if you pay your Game Pass subscription, does that take care of your monthly sub?
Oh, of course.
You know
That's
what I
going to
mean?
be the incentive.
Is that?
You
how
don't
cool
change,
would that
You don't
be?
change the model. World of Warcraft stays monthly subscription. What is it, $14.99 a month? Something like
yeah,
that?
$14.99 a month.
And instead, you
pay for Game Pass, subscribe to Game Pass, and get all of
get
World
that
of Warcraft.
plus all these other games.
Yeah. And because of how Game Pass works, you would still buy each of the expansions, I would assume, because doesn't Game Pass give you the base game and then additional add-ons they usually charge you at a discounted price? So, I guess they would still make revenue there by buying the box copies and stuff of expansions because it would fall into that DLC stuff.
What happens to the Blizzard launcher?
See, that's
Does it become
interesting.
The Game Pass launcher?
I know there would be a lot of anger probably
It's gonna
when that
change.
happens.
It's going to change.
I think if you're Microsoft, just to keep things just to let things simmer, I would keep the Blizzard launcher for a few years.
Oh, yeah. No doubt there'll be, but eventually something will happen with it.
Yeah, eventually you combine the Blizzard launcher with the Xbox launcher.
Or just rename the Blizzard launcher the Xbox launcher.
Yeah, the Game Pass launcher.
Yeah,
It's better.
say you're incorporating it the other way.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
no one gets
It's
mad.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they bought it. They needed a better launcher.
That's a $70 billion
They only bought it
launcher.
for launchers and the friends list and everything.
Yeah.
That's it. So now our Blizzard IDs line up with our Xbox Live IDs, or we don't need to
okay,
utilize
this is
those?
what I'm hoping. A big hope of mine. I hope. Let me combine my Overwatch accounts from the PC to the Xbox. You know what I mean?
Finally.
You're all owned by the. I don't care if I have to pick one or the other, and stuff doesn't carry. Let me just pick one and let it be a cross progression. Because I not as much anymore, but I used to play Overwatch a lot on the PC with some friends that had it on the PC, and then of course over on the Xbox. Just let the people play.
Let it simmer.
Do you know what's going to be awesome, Jordan, is when Blizzard comes out with a WoW, new
2, I guess?
Yeah. We're not going to have queue times because they're going to link into the Azure servers.
Yeah.
That's what's great.
Yeah.
We say that, but will it happen?
Well,
See, I always-
because they're
So now Microsoft has the entire Blizzard campus.
yeah. Well, because I
Think they'll put up a flag?
weren't the numbers
up a
in
flag.
assets alone? I just had them up. In assets alone, Blizzard, in assets, is worth $20 billion.
Ooh. That's like land, buildings.
23.11 billion.
Hardware.
Correct. So yeah, land and hardware and all that stuff. So they just got $23.11 billion worth of without the IPs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
so
it's so crazy.
I hear they got a good cafeteria at Blizzard.
You want conspiracy theories time? we have a good friend, Mike Ibarra. We like him a lot.
He moved to Blizzard
He was
2 years ago.
2 years ago. He was two and change. He was at Xbox and he moved over to Blizzard. What's funny?
Corporate espionage?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, and then remember also.
We didn't say it here.
Yeah, also-
but how funny is that now he's going back?
Now he's back to Microsoft.
Also,
So's Rod Ferguson.
for Rod Ferguson, he's in charge of Diablo. Well, I don't know if he's in charge, but he's a leader on the Diablo team who was Gears of War.
the
you know?
instructions they gave him we want to buy low. Okay?
Do whatever it takes.
Expose their crap.
Yeah, do what you can. We want to buy low.
Well, and actually, speaking of all that stuff, Mark, you were saying before the show, this actually puts Blizzard in a better light.
Oh, yeah.
Now you have Microsoft coming in, who is
The daddy.
Well,
Daddy comes in. Cleans house.
Look,
the responsible adults are in the room.
Yeah, Microsoft
Exactly.
doesn't have any issues with all the stuff that Blizzard had issues with when some of that was pretty bad. So Microsoft comes in and they clean house. The other big thing I think we talk about, Bobby Kotick, he's had a lot of controversy, a lot of not good stuff going his way. As of right now, and some people were upset about this, as of right now, he's in charge until all the deal goes through. Basically, it's business as usual until the deal goes through. My theory is, I think as soon as the deal goes through, he retires, and I'm sure he gets quite a retirement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he probably helped
Make this
deal happen. So I'm sure So a lot of people are probably happy with that Bobby Kotick in the next probably year or so will be stepping down from. But I mean, we don't know. But that's
this whole
theory,
purchase. I was what I was talking about before we started recording. This whole purchase is this. It is saving the face of Blizzard.
Yeah.
Blizzard right now has been the brand,
hemorrhaging.
It has been tarnished. It was one thing after another. I mean, it started,
and it wasn't just
this like within the last year. The last 6 years, you've had people leaving every 6 months. People leave, big players.
Original founders.
Original founders slowly, and then you had the China controversy with Hong Kong, where that, and then that Blizzard's reaction, how they
that was still the funniest apology / non-apology ever. That was so funny.
See, and it's we laugh about it, but it was handled very incorrectly.
Yeah, it was basically, sorry we got caught. Here's Diablo.
yeah, and Blizzard has just got, their brand has been hurting and hurting. It was really kind of an experiment on, can you be too big to fail, and stocks dropping, just everybody moving to Final Fantasy 14 with Asmongold, the whole thing with that, and just the numbers. Now you can't even buy Final Fantasy 14 because their servers are so overloaded because so many people have been jumping ship.
Fun update, I believe it comes back on the 25th for those that are looking to.
Perfect. Well, you have just this brand being just completely tarnished, and then a move like this is a move to save the brand, to save all the investment that people have into these IPs, into this company. I mean, we were looking at the stocks earlier. Blizzard's stock is tremendously up, and what's funny is Microsoft has gone down a little bit. So I mean, Microsoft is pulling that brand confidence up, essentially. And I think this is a move that needed to take place if we ever wanted to see a StarCraft 3, because it was a downhill momentum tumble. We're basically watching someone fall down the stairs in slow motion.
Yeah.
With what was happening with Blizzard.
Yeah.
And
we're watching a celebrity fall apart live,
like a Lindsay Lohan situation.
Yeah. But then you have Microsoft is rehab.
Microsoft is rehab.
Yeah.
They just rehabbed.
What's really interesting too is you got Mike Ibarra, who's his title is the president of Blizzard, and then you got Rod Ferguson, who I know is involved with Diablo. So you have these people who have already worked together very well, probably got a lot of the same ideas, are on the same page about a lot of things. I think this is just everything. Almost seems like it lined up perfectly for Microsoft to move.
That's why it's so funny. We talk about Mike Ibarra going 2 years ago.
Yeah,
we want to buy low.
Yeah. Yeah, get in there, give us the lay of the land, and we'll come in.
Yeah, we'll come in and rescue you if we need to.
Yeah, but no, this is
big news.
I'm telling you, if you have an Xbox console on your desk right now, you're looking forward to the future. That's for sure. As for Sony, I think Sony keeps doing what they're doing. I mean, and let's not forget, Sony's made some pretty decent moves. They've pretty much locked up the Marvel games, which are huge hitters. Sony gives out quality games. I think they double down on that and keep going. But this,
don't forget Crash Bandicoot Spyro.
That's what's funny.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot used to be Sony's mascot. Yeah, if you all remember the commercials back in, I think it was the 90s, yeah. Crash Bandicoot used to be taunting Mario at Nintendo and stuff. So.
And even, and Spyro and,
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice?
No, that's from Software.
Yeah.
It says in this article, Activision Blizzard.
I don't think so.
Oh, wait. I think they may have published that one because I don't think Bandai Namco published that one.
Let's see.
I
think Activision may have published it or helped publish it. I think you're right because I don't think because usually it's Bandai Namco and I think Activision did that one with From Software. But that being said, Microsoft doesn't own From Software. Do they own that IP now?
Oh, maybe we'll get a lot more.
Activision owns Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, because Bandai Namco didn't.
Wow.
But they don't own the rest of them, and they don't own Elden Ring, right? That's
but
all
they
Bandai
do.
Namco.
They do own Activision Blizzard Studios. So that means if we ever want another Warcraft movie, they will be publishing that. Which is not
what's interesting is maybe because PlayStation has Bloodborne, maybe Xbox has another Sekiro.
Wait. Really? It's on the what else is on that list? I'm only looking like the direct.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm getting clarification here. I'm looking it up. So it looks like the publishing rights actually remain with From Software in this case. So it's independent.
Okay.
Activision just helped pay the bills, right? Essentially.
Yeah. So apologies, not there.
Well, this is.
But maybe Guitar Hero makes a return.
that would be.
That's
fun.
Activision.
That's Activision, yeah.
I would like Guitar Hero to make a return. I threw my guitar in the trash from Guitar Hero. You can sell those for like $500.
Really? I still
now.
have mine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. I'm going to sell mine for $500.
Yeah. I'm a fool.
I gave mine away.
Yeah.
Basically threw it out.
No, the big thing that excites me a lot, I mean, all the games, all the theories about what's going to come exclusive and all this stuff and, whatever in the future. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff happening in the future. What I want to know and what excites me is what are some of these studios going to do? Because that's what was exciting about Bethesda. So we're getting Treyarch, Raven, High Moon, Beanox, which are all Call of Duty, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Demonware, and Toys for Bob. Toys for Bob used to do like Skylanders, stuff like that with the Spyro franchise. But this is what I wonder. What if they do this? So right now, Raven and Beanox are basically support teams on Call of Duty. I think Raven is in charge of Warzone. I think Beanox does a lot of like the PC port. Anyway, they're support teams. What if they do this? What if you just leave Call of Duty to Infinity Ward and Treyarch, stagger the releases, get rid of this annual release, maybe do it every 2 years or so, and what if Raven and High Moon and Beanox, 3 full studios, what if they just make their own IPs? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I would imagine. Again, just speculation, but what the possibilities here are.
I would imagine Microsoft goes to these studios in the same way they went to Bethesda, in the same way they went to the other studios that they acquired pre-Bethesda, and say, if you could make any game, what game would you make? Mm-hmm. And here you do it.
Yeah, because
Because this is the Netflix model. Yeah. Before any competition existed, they're preempting everybody. That's what's so amazing here. In all honesty, you're opening a subscription service. Just say you're Sony. What do? Your hands are. You have to, right? I mean, yes, you have fantastic exclusives that can hold their own, but Microsoft just took some of the biggest games in gaming across PC and console of all time. Now they own. What do? You have to counter with something.
No, something big.
You have to go after. You have to try to take away third-party titles that would be otherwise big on Xbox and try to own them yourselves. Do you not?
Yeah.
If you think the subscription model is the future, Xbox clearly does. They're all in.
Well, see, and that's where the argument comes in because you see a lot of like, because Call of Duty makes so much money everywhere, they're not going to pull it from everywhere. And I think the opposite. I think that's exactly why they're going to pull it from everywhere. Because
money just represents how popular a game is.
Yeah, I don't think yes, Microsoft needs to recoup their $68 billion. And I was kind of telling this to Mark. I don't think they necessarily care how long that takes. I think they care more about the subscription service, Gamepass. And once this deal goes through, I think it's just going to be like Bethesda. I think we're going to see Warzone, I think is correct, will be everywhere. But after this deal is complete and whatever contracts are honored, because we know that they did that with Bethesda as well, I think we see the mainline Call of Duties only come to Game Pass. And that's because
there was an in-person E3 this year we could go to, and to the Microsoft stage, You know what that's going to be like?
Well, you know what it's going to be like. Half of E3 is going to be in Microsoft's stage.
Microsoft now owns E3.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
yeah. In all honesty, though, what do you do? I don't know. Microsoft to me just preempted the gaming subscription service and said we're going to own
Well,
this.
it's almost like Microsoft heard the rumor about Project Spartacus and was like, "No, we'll take Activision then."
No, yeah.
Because what does Project Spartacus do now? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of indie stuff out there, and then like you said, you have all of PlayStation's really strong exclusives, but you got to have a third-party presence on there. There's still EA left, but we already know EA has a good relationship with Microsoft.
Yeah. What if they get
And
EA
next
and
year,
then
you
have-
might as well buy EA.
What if they
It's
get
cheaper than this act.
one
no,
more
everything's
purchase,
cheaper
and
than
it's
this.
like, what do they not own? Like, imagine if they got EA. You then would have Battlefield. You would have Apex.
Yeah.
You'd have sports
Madden.
franchises, Madden and FIFA.
Yeah.
What would you not own? I mean, those are huge. Don't forget. I mean, FIFA especially is an international game. I'm sure sells way more copies on PlayStation because PlayStation's bigger internationally.
Yeah, one. I think where PlayStation is gonna do their things. I think they I don't know if they buy Square Enix, but I think they do what they're doing. Final Fantasy rumors, right? Rumors are that Final Fantasy is exclusive to PlayStation for a while. You go and get people like Bandai Namco. You know.
Yeah,
I think you double down on your
There's the thing though.
studios, you
What
know?
is the? We still haven't. The ball has yet to drop. And if the rumors are true that Microsoft is looking at a major Japanese studio, what is that?
And I almost wonder. So
So
just,
they're looking to get Sony.
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I almost wonder.
What
so,
if?
so whenever you, especially like when you watch, like Ryan McCaffrey did a really good interview. What was it, 4 or 5 years ago, with all the previous heads of Xbox?
Yeah.
And whenever they talk about Japan, it's always super fascinating because that was always a difficult market for them. And I wonder if it still is, like even acquiring studios through Japan, because Japan is very.
Loyal.
Yeah, loyal is a good word. Their culture, they always buy the homeland. You know, the Sony's the console from the homeland. We buy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's still to this day difficult for Microsoft to break into that market.
Well, if you own the Japanese studios, you don't have to worry about that.
But that's what I'm saying. Do those studios purposely say no? We don't want to sell to an outside company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of loyalty, culture. It's, culture is very, they're very loyal is, I guess, a good word. But anyway, yeah, geez.
Big deal. Really big deal.
And you know what's really crazy is with this acquisition, they're still number 3
Behind Sony.
behind Sony and the big one, Tencent, which not a lot of people know about, but yes, they're huge.
They are giant. So, anyways, there we go, everybody. That's our initial reactions to this giant news.
Yeah.
Microsoft acquires Activision Blizzard.
Yeah. Like I said, if you have
it doesn't feel real. Like it's
happened
it's-
today.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
We woke up to it.
We woke up to it. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel. We're the X1 Bros. We've got a fantastic podcast. We're all Xbox all the time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.